What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my studio. I'm Joseph Finchum. You're you. Hopefully, someone's there. I think there's someone there, but nobody's chatted yet, so I don't know. But we're going to be working on this landscape yet again. Uh, we're getting into the areas where there is far more detail, so it's gonna rack my brain a bit, but we'll see what we can do, and let's get started. Hey, George. No problem. Take your time. Okay, so we're moving into this area here, which is much more leafy. So getting this right is going to be a little tricky, but a little tricky for me. But we'll see what happens. Mm, I gotta figure out what colors I want, what color I want to start with. Hello, D, aka Diane Schwer. Thank you for joining me. Have you joined me before? I don't know. The name seems familiar. Maybe it was a while ago? I don't know. And hi, Gypsy. Ashley. Vox Machina. Thank you for the suggestion. I fully enjoyed that series so far. I watched, I think, everything they have up, so that was good. Okay, so we're going to start. My reference up, my reference photo on this part is extremely blurry, so it's really just guessing. But we're going to start laying in some shapes. We're going to see what we're doing. Hi, Tara. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Clark. Don't worry, Clark. We're all a few minutes behind today. Yeah, Ashley, I started watching it, and I remember you bringing up the Critical Role, and I didn't even put two and two together, even after like 3 episodes, even though it says Critical Role Vox Machina. And I was like, I know these characters. Why do I know these characters? And it's because I did watch some of the Critical Role back in the day. And yeah, I was like, this all seems so familiar. Oh, hi, Kimmy B. Sorry, I missed that. I didn't see you in there. thank you too for joining me. Before I got started, I was working on the artist group, the monthly challenge thing, and you were very ambitious last year. You have a lot of pictures in there. At least I believe it's you, if you're the same Kim B. But I believe you are. And I'm going with a lot more pressure now. I'm not really burnishing yet, but I'm trying to build up the texture of leaves. Yeah, it was definitely good, and it started really strong. I enjoyed it very much. I'm a big fan of Felicia Day, and I believe she had something to do with like the original creation of the show, or the show, some parts of it, or some of the people started with Geek and Sundry and then moved away. I don't remember exactly the whole details, but I'm a big Felicia Day fan. She's the only person I watch play video games online. Or maybe I should say she's the only one I can handle watching video games on. I will at some point be coming back through here with other colors of orange and reds and yellows, but I'm just kind of concentrating on getting some detail in here for the moment to make it look a little bit more leafy. A little more like foliage and a little less like a big yellow blotch. Yeah, hi to all the lurky turkeys. We know you're out there. You might not be making yourself known, but we know you're there. I wish I could say that there were more of you out there than there are, but we appreciate the lurky turkeys. And I'm going to be doing a lot of sharpening today because got to keep a sharp point. And watch as I put it down and break the point immediately, because it always happens. There it goes. It's like clockwork with me. I always see people sharpen to a fine point and then they use it and they draw and nothing ever happens. But every time I touch the pencil to the paper, bang, that little itty bitty sharp tip breaks right off. In with a little bit of this light orange. Let me sharpen that too. And I'm basically just making squiggly lines. Trying to think of little leaf shapes, but not perfect leaves. Not like the ones I was doing in the Tree of Life drawing. Those ones they're almost all the same. On purpose. I don't know how well that's showing up. I actually haven't read the book yet, and it upsets me that I haven't read that book yet. Yeah, I was a huge fan of the Guild, so. And in my opinion, you can't go wrong with Dr. Horrible's sing along blog thing. I love that. Again, Nathan Fillion, Alan Tudyk, the cast of Firefly. I will watch anything with them in it. That might not be dark enough. Let me go back to this a little bit. I'll just be a little lighter with it. Maybe we can blend that out later a little bit. Hi, Teresa. Thank you for joining. Is it Valentine's Day? I'd have no way of knowing. It was indeed. I like watching them play online. Uh, they also have their own D&D campaign going on that they go back and forth with, which can be good. Sometimes it's a little iffy, but watching the cast, you know, play together is fun. Yes. If you didn't see George's Owl, go and check it out. He did a really great job on that. And if you go to his YouTube channel, he took us on a nice hike the end a week ago or so. Was it that long already? George will let me know. And like I said last week, while I am using my reference photo, I'm no longer following it as closely as I can. There's just no way I could do that anymore. I got my perspective so far off that it's a little unruly now. So we're just adding the details in where we want them. Yeah, see, I thought it was interesting because you're down in Virginia, I believe, and like the place you were walking around looks like a place that's right down the block from me. So, you know, just because you're a couple hundred miles away doesn't mean things change all that drastically. We have our pine barrens and our beaches and our pine barrens that run into our beaches, so yeah, almost the same thing. And I'm using my squiggly lines to add in and change the values of some of the other colors to try and get a closer idea of what I already had. Yeah, that's not showing up at all. Let me try sharpening that. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's too light. I may have to find a lighter green. See if that'll work. Good job, Ashley. Everybody else go sub to George too. Just like a good troll should. Aw, that I'm sorry. I hate when things don't work out, but I don't I don't generally stop doing things. I push through to the end. I used to have a really bad habit of letting everything sit too long and just kind of not giving up but abandoning things. And Lisa told us, you know don't do that. If you start something, finish it. And well, it's been working so far. I'm getting too far over there. Let me come back over on this side. There should be some darker areas, little things showing through. Trying to adjust my values on the fly. We'll see where that goes. To come back into this area right here with a little more orange. Don't tap the pencil on the paper like an idiot. Don't worry, George. It's getting too hot in the summer here too. Like some of my plants on my property just aren't doing as well as they should, and it's because my where I am, because I'm on Long Island, there's like the zone shifts a little, and it's been shifting more north every year. So yeah, we're definitely having some troubles with our climate. I'm sorry to hear that, Starving. Are you being forced to move? It sounds like you're being forced to move. That's not cool. definitely try and salvage it. And let me see it when you're done. Tag me or something. I would definitely like to see what you got done. Yeah, I never call these an art along with me like Lisa did, or like Angela, I think, has titled a few of hers that way. But if you want to art along with me, go feel free. And I'll come back in here later with some of the green and the dark green and do a little like pushing and pulling on the edges and in certain areas to try and give it a little bit more depth. I know some of these marks are going to be just way too light for you guys to see. Um, see if I can. Is that a little better? Can you see that? And I'm trying to vary my lines in both weight and shape. Like sometimes it's a little bit more round, sometimes they're a little bit more pointy. And hopefully that's giving me a look of actual leaves that are, like overlapping a lot. hope that it's as well keeping my values close to being right. It's all about the values. That's what they say, right? Needs to go a little darker. Indeed, Gypsy. Indeed. And especially since, I don't know how you guys are dealing with it, but that drop off of live streams from Lisa just, you know, killed the momentum. It was nice having that sense of community that we all shared, and then there was less place, less places to share it. I'm not blaming her by all means, do what you got to do. But it felt like I lost some friends. There are people that I only saw and only talked to in those live streams, like Patty Picasso and Phyllis Palladino, or I know I'm probably butchering her last name, and the Gales. Yeah, so there's a hole in my heart where those live streams used to be, if that makes sense. Okay, let me go back to the orange and sharpen. There isn't a lot of the deeper orange in here, so let me just do that first. Quick wipe. And I know I'm putting my hand all over my drawing. I have the piece of glass right here, but of course I'm not using it because I forgot it was there. I'll fix that at some point. Whenever I'm bringing two colors together, I'm overlapping them somewhat. I don't want there to be too much separation between the colors. So I'm trying to get a little bit of the lighter orange into where the darker orange is to help fade it out. And hopefully it's looking a little bit more rounded and bushy because of that. I don't know. Like I said, first landscape in colored pencils. At least first landscape this big in colored pencils. And with the blending and everything, so. We're experimenting. We're figuring it out as we go. We hopped. I don't know, Starving. I I don't know if there's going to be a third layer because I'm kind of I'm kind of over this one. But like I said, I'm going to complete it no matter what. So, we'll have to see how things go. I've had the same thoughts, Hobby. I no longer take care of my mom because unfortunately she's no longer with us, but dad's needing a little bit more help all the time. So, we do what we got to do, right? And did I click on the wrong one? Did it jump on me? I don't know. I thought I clicked on hobby artists thing, but then when I looked over there, I was pretty sure it was Clark Fine Arts. I did that one already. It's got to stop jumping on me. And yes, I hope they get better too, hobby artists. I'm trying to keep up. It's going to be dangerous because there's a little bit of brown up in here. Try and go light, see if that works. Because I want to change the color, but not the value. Just checking to make sure it's actually on camera. Little bit of a tree branch right in here. A little indication of a branch. Overlap some of that a bit. Just so the lines aren't too straight and standing out. Okay, now, where are we going from here? Gotta go back down here a little bit. Finish this spot off. And after I posted the heart the hard dice video thing that I made in Cinema 4D, I I was looking through the comments and a few people were saying that they'd like to see more of that stuff. So we're gonna try something here and see if it pops up. It should be in the bottom corner. Yeah, that looks like it's working. These are a few things that I've made in that program. Unfortunately, when I navigated my old computer to my old hard drive to my new hard drive, things went a little screwy and I lost a lot of the work I've done in that program. But this is just a bunch of random stuff and random ideas that I've had. And the last one, the last couple of images are Joshua Greer of BAM VFX on YouTube did a t-shirt design of and the concept is a UFO coming to our planet to steal our pancakes because pancakes are delicious. And so I did, for him, I did a version of his original digital painting in Cinema 4D. And that I think on in this series of pictures is the most detailed one I've done. So, yep, exactly. Like I said around New Year's, I said I was going to slow down, and then I immediately thought, no, no, this isn't going to work. Like I don't want to slow down. I want to keep engaged with, all the people that I chatted with for what, 2 years almost. Some people longer, some people for 4 or 5 years. Definitely got to keep it going. And although I do think, the live streams and YouTube just are not really the way to go, I'm gonna keep doing it. And YouTube keeps saying, oh, this is gonna be the year for live streaming. Yeah, if you're one of the people that they poach from Twitch and give millions of dollars to, sure. But for everyone else, it's going to be exactly the same as it was, as far as I can tell. They don't seem to be changing their ways very much. But that's YouTube for you. Everything YouTube does, as far as I've seen, is in benefit of the people who are already big time YouTubers. They really kind of poop on the little man or little lady. Oh, that's done, huh? Okay, let me there. Okay. It's just like any other program. Just like if you can operate Photoshop, you can operate Cinema 4D. It's actually sometimes a little bit easier than Photoshop because Photoshop does some things that are counterintuitive, but Cinema 4D is pretty basic. Make a shape, change the shape, light the shape, done. And yeah, my computer says no too. I started to try and do something with animating those dice the other day, and for my computer to go from one frame to the next and like shift everything just a little bit, it was taking almost an hour, so I just exited out of it and gave up. It just was not working. That's not to say I didn't want it to work, because I did. It just didn't want to. Sharpen this. Not not really, Kimmy B. No. The problem isn't that they're not promoting the live streams. The problem is that the the views you get for your live streams don't count at all. I mean, they may fudge it a little here and there and try and make it look like they did, but until the video is published on their end, they don't count anything for that video. And live streams are mostly watched live. So, yeah. Just like with the shorts things, they come out and they're like, everybody makes shorts. And then they're trying to find ways, in my opinion, they're trying to find ways to not have to give you what you deserve for the content you're creating. But I could be wrong. It's just that's the way it looks to me. And it doesn't just happen to me. I've seen it on other people's channels too. And I've talked to other people about their analytics and stuff, and they're seeing the same thing I am, so there's got to be something to it, right? Same. I will post to Facebook to try and, get people to come to this live stream. But I'm not posting anything else there, and I only have 2 or 3 friends on Facebook, so those are the people I'll check in on. Like my friends Mel and Alex, who they're up in Canada now, so I don't get to talk to them as much as I used to. We used to do game night every weekend or every other weekend depending. So now we do it online and it's not the same. I'm basically trying to follow around these slightly like mid-tone green areas, just giving them a little bit more color variation. And a little bit more texture. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't drop the pencil. We jumped again. I'm resetting. No, it's still the best group I know of. So I have no reason to try and create my own. It just seems like a waste of time and effort. I mean, if anybody ever saw a reason for it, maybe, but I don't I don't see any reasoning if that makes sense. And to be honest, I've always been so involved in that group that it kind of feels like home. I have, I belong to a few art groups in Facebook and on MeWe, and the only place I'm ever really answering people's questions is in Lisa's group. Because, like you said, the other groups, they're all post and run. There are some things that I think need to be changed in our group as it is, but that's not really my decision. And I did ask Nick about something last week and got a sort of answer, but I've been realizing a lot lately in the group that there are a few people in there who are not listening to some of the rules. And when they post stuff that is going against the rules, they're not always being, you know, notified that they're breaking the rules and stuff like that. So there may, I have to maybe contact Lisa and be like, hey, do we need to change this rule or update it? Something like that. We'll see at some point when I'm not busy doing this stupid landscape. Oh, it's taking forever. But again, it's good for people to see how long a valid attempt takes. Art does not start by being finished. It's a process that takes time. I don't want to go too far down into here because this is the darkest area here. That's very, very small leafy. So I'll have to spend a little extra time getting some of the details into this area down here. In there. But I can do this area here. A little bit of a highlight in there. See if we can brighten up that highlight a bit. Yeah, like I said, it's not that they're not promoting. They definitely do some promotion. It's the counting on their end that I have a problem with. To me, it feels like I'm being robbed of my views. And not everyone may see it that way, but some of us might. This definitely looks like it needs a little bit more something. Trying to help break these colors up a bit. So that it doesn't look as splotchy as it does. that a good word for that? Splotchy? Yeah, that is definitely true. But that also, I also don't always agree with that because the stuff YouTube recommends to me and the stuff they put on like the homepage, I almost never want to click on. So if it's supposed to be showing me things that I want to click on, it does a horrible job. The stuff in my subscription feeds, yes. Things like if I click on a video, say like I watch one of your videos, Angela, or one of Ashley's videos, the stuff that shows up on the side, those things are usually better than the home screen. And the Explore tab, forget it. I have never clicked on a video in the Explore tab. I'll scroll all the way through it, and there is not one thing in there I want to see. But yet, according to YouTube, that's, you know, they're looking out for you. And they're trying to get you to click on more stuff. Well, they're doing a terrible job of that. Well, okay, I'm losing track here. This keeps jumping, and I'm definitely missing stuff. Yes, but Gypsy. Okay, I'm gonna click on this one. When you finish a live stream, after a couple of days, as it like because it takes a couple days for them to process your stuff. Does the view count on the dashboard match the view count in the video's individual analytics? That's where my problem lies. They seem to do this thing where it's not a one-to-one comparison, but it's almost like if you take the view numbers that they show you on the dashboard and subtract the concurrent viewers from your live stream, you will get close, if not exactly to, the number that actually appears in the inner analytics. And again, this could just be me reading into things because, I'm not progressing as fast as I'd like to be. But I'm not. It sounds like I'm being really nitpicky and that this weighs heavily on my mind. I barely ever think about it except when I'm looking at it. It's not something that's in the back of my head nagging at me. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and hey, whatever happens, happens. It is, Michael. If you're still out there, I know you kind of drop in and drop out sometimes, but if you're still out there, it definitely is. It's where can they make the most money? And you would think if they promoted everything equally, they would make more money. I'm definitely not liking this area right here. See if I can adjust and soften some of these areas, so that they don't look as patchy. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what you saw that contradicted the theory, but I would love to know, because if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. I can only go based on what I've noticed myself. Hey, Nick. Long time no see. Only in the background. It's not that I created the group, it's that I researched which new social media platform to go from Google Plus to. um, Lisa is the owner of the Facebook group and the MeWe group. It's just every time I say, "Hey, you want me to transfer it over?" she goes, "Hold on. Maybe that's changed. I don't know. I haven't asked her in a year, 2 years because you forget. As far as I'm concerned, it's Lisa's group and always will be." Everything takes longer than I want it to take, though, because I'm slow at this. And colored pencils are a slow medium, so it's going to be even slower than everything else. But I'll keep at it. But I'm glad I gave you a laugh. Yeah, starving, that's the thing. That's the thing I'm talking about. When I say that there are some things that I think we need to look into and maybe change or revise. But yeah, there are a few people in that group lately who are just dropping things and leaving. And that was literally as far as I remember, that was the first rule was don't do that. So it seems weird that it continues. But the problem is that we've we've gotten, I don't know, pampered by the modding system of Facebook, which MeWe does not have. Facebook's modding system and administration system, unfortunately, is far better than MeWe's is. It's night and day. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure they're working on it already. Absolutely. I don't think that'll go over too well though, because every time YouTube starts, I don't know, moving into other areas and stepping on other places' feet, they do it really good at the beginning and then they scale it back. And so I don't know if them trying to compete with Patreon is going to work because people are going to be a little too skeptical to go, to YouTube for that kind of stuff. They've always been greedy. Always. Of course. Same old silly trolls. It is. I'm having trouble keeping up, Gypsy. Every time I look over at it, it jumps on me. There is a lot of crap over there. Yes. But they're still expanding it, and and they have their rules too. Like, Twitch has a, what is it? They have a clause that's like you can't. It's like a non-competition clause. Like if you're on Twitch, you're not supposed to also stream to YouTube or Facebook or anything else. So I don't know. I'm sure no matter what platform or company you try and use, there's always going to be something to find to complain about. That's just the way we are as human beings. Trying to ever so slightly adjust some values. I'm trying my best to keep some of these highlighted areas from getting too dark and getting ruined. Sharpen that. If anybody sees any spots that look too patchy to you on your end, let me know. So I can try and adjust it. I'm trying to stay away from this area, and I keep accidentally going back down into there because I see where one spot looks wrong, and I adjust it, and then this looks wrong because it's more in my field of view. And also in this area right in here, the leaf shapes completely change, so I'm not sure how I want to attack that yet. But I'm hoping that everything is slowly coming together. Only fans light. Okay. What? Okay, I tried to click on the other one you typed. Where'd it go? Oh wow, we really jumped. That's the one I was looking for. That's a much better attitude to have, Ashley. But honestly, like, when you are trying to eventually support yourself on it, you'd like it to go faster. I've never seen one there. I know they exist, but I've never seen one there. And even like before, earlier, I was saying Felicia Day is the only one I will watch online play. I don't watch those live. I watch them when she puts them on YouTube. So I want nothing. It's not that I want nothing to do with Twitch, but it's, I don't know. I don't like the way it's set up. It just seems clunky, and I don't know. Something about it just rubs me the wrong way. Best thing you ever said, Clark. Kitty glitter. And what was the other one from the other paintbrush glitter? Yeah, kitty glitter is definitely a new favorite term of mine. That's gonna stick me with me for a long time. And I know this is barely showing up for you because it's barely showing up for me. Starting to think I may need to blend it a little bit to soften some of these patchy spots. I don't know if it'll work, but it'll be worth a shot. Going back down there again. Stay out of there. I forget the guy's name, but I'm assuming you're talking about the live stream stuff I was saying. Um, one of the guys who are like he does like how to improve your live stream stuff and like OBS tutorials and stuff like that. And he had done a thing about like things about live streams or facts about the live streams that you might not know. And I mentioned my opinion on the views and watch time count, and he was like, "I've never seen any evidence of that." So I sent him screen caps of my analytics, and he was like, "Based on your analytics, I absolutely have seen that now." So I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone in it. But if you have, I mean, that guy's got a couple 100,000 subscribers, so he's not going to notice it as much, you know? My numbers are low enough that that a small discrepancy can stand out, you know, if that makes sense. Yep, that's why they don't come in here. They can go in my room, they cannot come in the studio. Sometimes they come in the studio, but they have to be supervised at all times. It could be Sheila. And hi, Sheila, if I missed you. But wow, I guess I've been on long enough for them to be busy. Because I'm seeing a lot of Angela removing stuff. Okay, one more quick sharpen. I'm going to get into this area right here. See if I can give you a better shot of this. This is here that I'm working on. Okay, you can see that. I think we're getting close to having almost everything filled in with at least a little, leaf detail. It's not perfect and it's definitely not done yet, but we're getting there. Nothing's sticking up there. I must have pushed a little too hard at some point. Okay, that's looking fairly good. I see we're at 451, so we'll start shutting down. Nope, that's the wrong button. It's like it's my first day. And that shouldn't have happened either. Okay. Let me catch up on chat, if that's even possible. Oh, and yes, I did create the group. I did throw everything together, but that's all it was. It was like, basically, it was reserving the name before anybody else tried to take it, or, you know, the way the internet goes. They post links that you can't click on because I don't allow links in my chat. They don't know that, so they just post them anyway. If you could click on it, it would probably take you to something you probably didn't want to see. That's a better answer. I have not. I have never used oil pastels. The only thing even close to pastels I've ever used are these. And it's only black and white gray tones. That's it. and I haven't used them in a long time. I haven't used these in forever. But yeah, I actually have 2 packs of those. One older, one newer. I don't know why. I don't even remember where I got them or how I got them. They could have been a gift. I don't know. But I've definitely never used oil pastels or Neocolor 2s before. Definitely not. Yeah, it's definitely a known issue. I know plenty of people who have complained about them and their stupid links. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Holy. Stop jumping. Clark. Okay. See, I thought it was just that you couldn't dual stream if you were monetized. You can take that content later and put it somewhere else because I know people I do watch a few things that do that. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I was pretty sure it was just you couldn't dual stream it. Thanks, Teresa. We're getting there. We're getting there. And like I said, I don't even think I'm gonna do the creek bed on the live streams. By the time I get done with the foliage, I'm just gonna sit here and do all the creek bed on my own. I think. Karma doesn't exist. It'd be nice if it did, but it doesn't. That's just my opinion. Again. Bye, Teresa. Thank you for joining me. Well, now that I've seen what you did with them, Ashley, I just might. I always thought it was just like I couldn't understand how people were doing stuff because to me it looks like you're just mashing something mushy into your surface. And I was like, how are people getting details with something that looks like you're mashing? But maybe that's just me. I also don't like things on my fingers like Lisa doesn't. So, yeah, I don't either. No desire at all. Okay, so we're gonna close it up. Hopefully, I've been saying this for 2 or 3 weeks now. Um, the challenge video should be up either tomorrow or Wednesday. I don't know. It's taking me so much longer to get it done than it should, and it's my own fault having to do other things. Um, but that challenge video will be up soon, and hopefully I'll get back on track. Um, thank you, Sheila. Thank you for the compliment. The encouragement is definitely needed. As I said, I'm getting frustrated with this one, and it's taken way too long. This is episode 6. That means we're at 12 hours of this. Well, let's say 11, because I talk sometimes. Yeah. If you haven't already seen it, check out the new challenge for February. Kimmy, if she's still here, she was the first one to submit something, but like I said, I took it easy for January, and then I went with a little bit something more difficult for February, so I'll probably get a lot less submissions than January got, which is why the January/November video is taking me so long to finish. Yeah. So, again, thank you all for joining me. I will see you next Monday. And I still haven't done the last 100 or so leaves I need to do on my Patreon only project, but I did get my new bottle of ink. I've never used this one before. It's Noodler's ink. It's supposed to be archival, but it's also not waterproof, which scares me. But we'll see. We'll definitely be inking that the next time I go live on Patreon. So, yes. Hit the buttons, do the things, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. We'll get this done. We will. Hopefully. Yes. Thanks for joining me.